When a man chooses to share his innermost thoughts, dreams, and feelings with you, it is an act of profound significance. It is not a simple exchange of words or casual conversation. It is a deliberate and meaningful gesture that reveals how much you mean to him. This is not something that comes naturally or easily for most people, especially for a man who may have been conditioned to keep his emotions and vulnerabilities guarded. When he opens up and lets you into his inner world, it is a declaration that you are special, that he sees you as someone who holds a unique and cherished place in his life. Sharing one's inner world is an act of trust. It requires letting down walls and exposing parts of oneself that are often hidden from the rest of the world. These are the thoughts that shape his dreams, the feelings that drive his actions, and the fears he quietly wrestles with. To reveal these aspects of himself means that he sees you as a person who is not only trustworthy but also understanding and compassionate. This trust is not given lightly. It is earned through moments of connection, empathy, and shared experiences that build a foundation of mutual respect. When a man shares his dreams and visions with you, he is showing you the blueprint of his life. These are not idle thoughts or fleeting fantasies, but the aspirations that drive him forward, the goals he holds close to his heart, and the future he envisions for himself. To invite you into this process of creation is to say that you are someone he values deeply, someone he wants by his side as he navigates the path ahead. It is a way of including you in his journey, not just as an observer, but as an essential part of the story he is writing. This act of sharing also reveals a sense of vulnerability. To speak openly about one's desires, fears, and uncertainties is to expose a part of oneself that is raw and unguarded. It takes courage to be this open, to trust that the person listening will not judge, dismiss, or belittle what is being shared. When a man chooses to be vulnerable with you, it is a testament to how much he respects and values your presence in his life. It means he sees you as a source of comfort and support, someone who will accept him as he is while encouraging him to grow into the person he wants to become. Being trusted with someone's inner world is a profound responsibility. It is an opportunity to connect on a deeper level, to see beyond the surface and into the heart of who they truly are. When a man shares his thoughts and feelings, he is giving you a rare and precious gift, the gift of his authenticity. It is a gesture that speaks volumes about how much he values the relationship and the unique bond you share. It is an unspoken acknowledgement of the depth of his connection to you and the role you play in his life. This kind of openness is not just about the act of sharing itself, but also about what it signifies. It is a reflection of the way he sees you, of the respect and admiration he holds for you. To him, you are someone who is not just worthy of knowing his dreams and fears, but someone who can help nurture and support them. He believes in your ability to listen with an open heart, to provide encouragement and guidance, and to stand beside him as he navigates life's challenges. This belief in you is a powerful expression of the unique place you hold in his world. When someone opens up in this way, it is important to understand the significance of the moment. It is not simply about listening to the words being spoken, but about truly hearing what lies beneath them. It is about recognizing the courage it takes to be vulnerable and responding with compassion and understanding. It is about valuing the trust that has been placed in you and honoring it by being present, empathetic, and supportive. To be invited into someone's inner world is a rare and beautiful experience. It is a reminder of the power of connection and the ways in which trust and understanding can bring people closer together. When a man chooses to share his inner thoughts, it is a gesture of love and respect, a way of saying that you are not just important to him, but essential to his journey. It is an acknowledgement of the special bond you share and the unique role you play in his life. This kind of connection is not something that can be forced or faked. It is the result of a relationship built on authenticity, mutual respect, and a shared understanding of each other's worth. When a man chooses to open up and share his inner world with you, it is because he sees you as someone who is not only capable of understanding him, but also deserving of knowing his truest self. It is a reflection of the depth of his feelings for you and the significance of the role you play in his life. When a man shares his deepest thoughts, dreams, and feelings with you, it is an act that carries immense meaning. It is not merely a moment of conversation or an exchange of ideas, it is a profound gesture that signifies how much he values and respects you. This act of opening up reflects his willingness to let you see the most authentic version of himself, including the vulnerabilities, aspirations, and fears he might typically keep hidden. It is a rare and precious gift, one that demonstrates his trust and the depth of the bond you share. For many, opening up in this way does not come easily. It requires courage to step beyond the layers of self-protection and reveal the inner workings of the heart and mind. When a man chooses to share his inner world, he is inviting you into a space that is deeply personal and sacred. This is not a decision made lightly. It is a deliberate choice to include you in his journey, to trust you with the parts of himself that are often unseen by the rest of the world. Such a gesture is a reflection of how special you are to him and the unique role you play in his life. Trust lies at the heart of this act of sharing. To confide in someone is to place your faith in their ability to listen without judgment, to hold space for your truth, and to offer understanding and support. This trust is not something that is given freely or without thought. It is earned through the moments of connection and care that build a relationship. When a man opens up to you, it means that he sees you as someone who has earned this trust, someone who has shown themselves to be compassionate, patient, and willing to see him for who he truly is. Sharing his inner world also requires a willingness to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not always easy, particularly in a world that often encourages people to hide their true selves behind facades of strength and composure. To be vulnerable is to take a risk, to expose parts of yourself that are not always polished or perfect, to admit to dreams that are still in progress or fears that are still unresolved. When a man chooses to be vulnerable with you, it is a sign of his belief in the connection you share. It means that he feels safe in your presence, that he trusts you to handle his openness with care and respect. When someone opens up in this way, they are not only revealing their thoughts but also inviting you to become a part of their vision for the future. Dreams and aspirations are deeply personal, and to share them is to say, I see you as someone who can walk this path with me, someone who I want to share this journey with. It is an act of inclusion, a way of saying that you are not just an observer in their life but a participant in their growth and evolution. This invitation to be a part of their inner world is a powerful declaration of how much you mean to them. It is important to recognize the significance of such a moment. When a man shares his inner world with you, he is not simply looking for someone to hear his words. He is seeking someone who will truly understand, someone who will honor the trust he has placed in them. Listening in this context means more than just hearing. It means being present, empathetic, and willing to engage with what is being shared. It means acknowledging the courage it takes to open up and responding with kindness and support. To be trusted in this way is a responsibility as much as it is an honor. It requires patience, understanding, and a genuine appreciation for the vulnerability that has been shown. When someone chooses to share their inner world with you, they are offering you a glimpse into their soul, a view of their truest self. It is a gesture that speaks to the depth of their connection with you and the unique place you hold in their life. This kind of openness is a reflection of the bond you share. It is a testament to the love, respect, and understanding that have grown between you over time. Such a connection is rare and should be cherished. It is a reminder of the power of human connection and the ways in which trust and vulnerability can bring two people closer together. When a man chooses to open up and share his thoughts, dreams, and feelings with you, it is not just about the content of what he is saying. It is about the deeper message that you are someone he values deeply, someone he trusts completely, and someone he sees as an integral part of his journey. Being invited into someone's inner world is a gift, one that should be met with gratitude and care. It is an opportunity to strengthen the bond you share, to connect on a level that goes beyond words, and to show through your actions that the trust he has placed in you is well-founded. When a man shares his inner world with you, he is offering you a piece of himself, a glimpse into the essence of who he is. It is an act of love and respect, a way of saying without words that you are truly special to him. When a man chooses to share his inner thoughts, his dreams, or the visions he holds for his life, it is an act of trust that cannot be taken lightly. This trust is not something given freely or casually. It is reserved for those he believes can truly understand him on a deeper level. It is an acknowledgement that the person he is sharing with is someone unique, someone special enough to hold a place in his inner world. To open up in this way requires him to lower his guard, to be vulnerable, and to allow another person to see beyond the surface. It is not a gesture of weakness, but of profound strength and connection. Trust is the foundation of sharing, especially when it involves one's inner world. A man's dreams, fears, and thoughts are not things he readily puts on display for just anyone. They are often hidden beneath the layers he shows to the world, protected by a barrier of reserve. Sharing these aspects of himself means inviting someone past those barriers, letting them see the person he is when no one else is watching. It is a deeply personal and intimate act, one that reflects the value he places on the relationship and the belief that the other person is worthy of knowing him in his truest form. When a man shares his inner thoughts, it is not simply a matter of speaking words aloud. It is a deliberate choice to expose a part of himself that he might otherwise keep private. This is especially true when what he shares includes his hopes and dreams, the things he wishes to achieve, or the person he aspires to become. These are not mere passing ideas, they are the essence of his identity, the foundation of who he is and who he strives to be. To share them with someone is to trust that they will handle this part of him with care, that they will not dismiss or ridicule the things he holds dear. This trust also reflects how he perceives the other person. Sharing one's inner world is an acknowledgement of the connection he feels, a recognition that the person he is sharing with is someone he believes will understand and respect his thoughts and emotions. It means he sees them as someone capable of listening without judgment, someone who will provide support rather than criticism, and someone who values the bond they share as much as he does. It is not an act of obligation, but one of genuine belief in the other person's ability to hold space for his thoughts and feelings. The act of sharing is also a sign of vulnerability. To share his inner world, a man must let go of the fear of being misunderstood or rejected. He must trust that the person he is confiding in will not use his words against him or diminish the value of what he has shared. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but of courage. It takes strength to open oneself up, to allow another person to see the parts of oneself that are not always polished or perfect. When he chooses to do this, it is a sign that he feels safe with the other person, that he trusts them to handle his vulnerability with compassion and care. This kind of trust is not built overnight. It is the result of a bond that has been nurtured over time, a connection that has grown through shared experiences, mutual respect, and understanding. When a man shares his inner world, it is a culmination of that bond, a moment that signifies how much he values the relationship and the person he is sharing with. It is a gesture that says, I see you as someone who is not just part of my life, but part of my journey, someone I want to share my growth and my dreams with. The importance of being trusted in this way cannot be overstated. It is an honor to be invited into someone's inner world, to be seen as a confidant and a source of support. This trust carries with it a responsibility to listen with an open heart, to respond with kindness, and to respect the courage it takes to share so deeply. It is not enough to simply hear what is being said. One must also understand the weight of what is being shared and appreciate the significance of the moment. Trust is the bridge that connects two people on a level that goes beyond the surface. It allows for a depth of connection that is rare and precious, one that should be cherished and nurtured. When a man shares his inner thoughts and dreams, it is not just about the words he speaks, but about the unspoken message behind them. It is a sign of how much he values the bond he shares with the other person, of how much he believes in their ability to see him for who he truly is. To be trusted in this way is a reflection of the light and warmth one brings into his life, a recognition of the role they play in his journey. When a man shares his inner thoughts, dreams, and feelings with you, it is an act rooted in love, Love in its truest sense is the foundation of such openness. It goes beyond mere romantic gestures or fleeting emotions and reflects a deeper connection, one where the boundaries of individuality blur, and a space is created where trust, vulnerability, and understanding can flourish. Sharing in this context is not simply about the words spoken, but about the intent and emotion behind them. It is a gesture that comes from a place of genuine care and recognition of the bond that exists between two people. Love is the driving force that enables someone to open their heart and share their inner world. It is an energy that dissolves walls and brings down defenses, allowing a person to reveal their truest self. When a man chooses to share his inner world, it is because he feels safe and valued in your presence. This safety is not just about the absence of judgment, it is about the presence of acceptance. Love creates an environment where he feels free to express his hopes, fears, and aspirations without fear of being misunderstood or dismissed. To share one's inner self is an act of courage, and that courage is born out of love. Love inspires a willingness to be vulnerable, to reveal parts of oneself that are not always polished or perfect. It is an acknowledgement that the person being shared with is not only important but integral to the journey. Love in this sense is not just a feeling, it is an action, a choice to trust, to connect, and to include someone in the most intimate parts of one's life. It is a declaration, not in words but in deeds, of how deeply one values and cherishes the other person. This sharing is not simply about unburdening oneself or seeking validation. It is an act of inclusion, a way of saying, I see you as part of my life, as someone who matters deeply to me. Love creates the space for this kind of inclusion, because it recognizes the interconnectedness of two souls. When a man shares his dreams or thoughts, he is inviting you into the space where his reality is shaped, the place where he nurtures his desires and envisions the future. It is a sacred act, one that speaks volumes about the depth of the relationship and the trust he places in you. At its core, love is about understanding and being understood. Sharing one's inner world is an expression of this understanding. It is an effort to bridge the gap between two people, to bring them closer by revealing what lies beneath the surface. When a man shares his thoughts, he is not just speaking, he is opening a door to his soul, inviting you to see him as he truly is. This kind of sharing is not possible without love, because love is what creates the desire to connect on such a profound level. Love also brings with it a sense of responsibility. When someone shares their inner world, they are placing their trust in you, believing that you will handle their thoughts and feelings with care. This trust is a reflection of how much they value the bond they share with you. Love, in this sense, is about mutual respect and support. It is about recognizing the courage it takes to be vulnerable and responding with compassion and understanding. To be the recipient of such trust is an honor and a privilege, one that should never be taken for granted. When love is the foundation of sharing, it transforms the act into something deeply meaningful. It is no longer just about the content of what is being shared, but about the connection it fosters. Love allows for a depth of understanding that goes beyond words. It creates a space where both people can be their authentic selves, free from judgment or pretense. This kind of connection is rare and precious, and it is a testament to the power of love to bring people closer together. Sharing one's inner world is also an act of hope. It is a way of saying, I trust you to see me, and I believe that together we can create something beautiful. Love fuels this hope, giving it strength and purpose. It inspires a belief in the possibilities that exist when two people come together in mutual understanding and support. This hope is not about expecting perfection or certainty, but about embracing the journey, knowing that love will guide the way. At its essence, love is the foundation of all meaningful connections. It is the force that enables us to open our hearts and share our innermost selves. When a man shares his dreams and thoughts, it is an expression of this love, a way of saying that you are not just a part of his life, but a part of his soul. It is a reminder that love is not just something we feel, but something we do, a choice we make every day to connect, to trust, and to grow together. When a man shares his inner thoughts, dreams, and visions with you, it is one of the most profound gestures of connection. It's not just about the words spoken, but about the willingness to reveal the inner workings of his mind and soul. For someone to open up in this way requires a deep level of trust and a belief that you are someone special, someone who will not only hear but truly understand. Sharing one's inner world is not an ordinary act, it is sacred. It is an invitation to step into the private space where dreams are born, vulnerabilities are exposed, and the deepest truths are revealed. A man's inner world is a place of creation and contemplation, where he nurtures his desires, faces his fears, and shapes the vision of the life he seeks to live. This space is rarely shared with others because it holds his most intimate and unfiltered self. When he decides to let someone into this space, it is a sign of immense respect and recognition. It means he sees you as someone who can be trusted with his most authentic self, someone who will not judge or diminish what he holds sacred. It is not merely a casual act of conversation, but a deliberate choice to make you a part of his inner journey. To share one's dreams and thoughts is to show vulnerability, and vulnerability is never easy. It requires courage to expose parts of oneself that may not yet be fully formed or understood. When a man shares these parts of himself with you, it is a testament to how much he values you. He sees in you a presence that is comforting, non-judgmental, and uplifting. It is as if he is saying, I trust you to see me, not as the world sees me, but as I truly am. This trust is not given lightly, it is reserved for those who have proven themselves worthy of it, either through their actions, their understanding, or simply the way they make him feel. When someone invites you into their inner world, it is an opportunity to witness something extraordinary. It is not just about listening to the words they say, but about feeling the energy behind those words. You are being shown their dreams, their fears, and the visions they hold for their future. These are not things they share with everyone. They are treasures guarded closely and shared only with those who have earned a place in their heart. If you find yourself in this position, it is a gift, one that should be treated with care and reverence. A man's imagination is where he creates the reality he seeks to experience. It is where he shapes his desires and gives life to his dreams. When he chooses to share this part of himself with you, he is not just sharing his thoughts, he is sharing his thoughts, he is sharing his process of creation. He is showing you the seeds he is planting in his mind, the hopes he is nurturing, and the vision he is working toward. This is a deeply personal and intimate act, one that speaks volumes about how he perceives you. It is an acknowledgement of your importance in his life and a reflection of the bond he feels with you. There is something deeply beautiful about being trusted in this way. It is a reminder of the power of human connection, the way we can hold space for each other's dreams and provide encouragement and support. To be the recipient of such trust is not just an honor, it is a responsibility. It is an invitation to stand beside someone as they navigate their journey, to see them in their rawest and most unguarded state, and to offer them the reassurance that they are not alone. When a man shares his inner world with you, it is not just about you being special to him, it is also about what he sees in you. He sees someone capable of understanding the depth of his thoughts, someone who resonates with his vision, and someone he feels safe with. This kind of connection is rare, and it is something to be cherished. It is a bond that transcends the surface level of relationships and moves into a space of genuine understanding and mutual respect. To be trusted in this way is a reflection of your own qualities. It means you have shown yourself to be someone who listens without judgment, someone who values authenticity, and someone who creates a safe and nurturing space for others to be themselves. It is a reflection of the light you bring into his life and the way you make him feel understood and appreciated. Being invited into someone's inner world is a profound experience, one that reminds us of the beauty of connection and the importance of trust. It is a reminder that the deepest relationships are not built on superficial interactions, but on moments of vulnerability and authenticity. When a man chooses to share his inner thoughts and dreams with you, it is a sign that you hold a special place in his life, one that should never be taken for granted. When a man chooses to share his inner thoughts, dreams, and visions, it signifies an act of profound connection. It is not a mere exchange of words or casual conversation, but rather an intimate glimpse into the very essence of his being. His imagination is where his reality begins, the place where his desires take shape and his future unfolds. To share this with someone means allowing them into his sacred space of creation, a realm where he molds the life he seeks to live. This act of sharing is deeply meaningful and not done lightly. It reflects trust, vulnerability, and an unspoken acknowledgement that the person he is sharing with holds a special place in his life. Imagination is a powerful force, a wellspring of potential and the birthplace of every experience. It is where we all craft the vision of what we desire to manifest in the world around us. When a man allows another person into this inner sanctuary, he is not only sharing his thoughts but also revealing the process by which he creates his reality. His imagination is a sacred ground where he plants the seeds of his aspirations, nurtures his dreams, and grapples with his fears. For him to share this inner process with someone means that he sees them as a safe and understanding presence, someone capable of witnessing his truth without judgment. This sharing is an act of trust that goes beyond the surface. It requires vulnerability to speak openly about one's hopes and visions, especially when they are still in their formative stages. To share these inner workings is to invite someone into the most delicate parts of oneself, the parts that are still growing and taking shape. It is a gesture that says, "I trust you to see me, not just as I am in this moment, but as I am becoming." It is an act of faith, both in the person he is sharing with and in his own ability to manifest the life he envisions. The decision to share his inner world is never made lightly. It reflects the depth of connection he feels with the person he is confiding in. This connection goes beyond words. It is a recognition of something profound, a bond that allows for honesty and openness. When a man shares his imagination with someone, it is because he sees them as capable of holding space for his dreams, understanding his struggles, and supporting his vision for the future. It is a testament to how much he values the other person's presence in his life and how deeply he trusts them to respect and nurture what he holds dear. Imagination is not just a space for dreaming, it is the engine of creation. Everything that exists in the physical world first existed in the realm of imagination. To share one's imagination is to share the blueprint of one's life. It is a deeply personal act, one that reveals the dreams and desires that drive a person forward. When a man chooses to share this with someone, it means he sees them as a vital part of his journey. He is not simply telling them about his dreams, he is inviting them to be a witness to his process of creation and perhaps even a partner in bringing those dreams to life. This act of sharing is also a reflection of how he perceives the person he is confiding in. It shows that he sees them as someone special, someone who understands the importance of imagination and the role it plays in shaping reality. He trusts them to see the potential in his dreams, to encourage him when doubt arises, and to celebrate with him when those dreams come to fruition. This kind of trust and connection is rare, and it speaks to the unique bond between the two individuals. When a man opens up in this way, it is important to recognize the significance of the moment. It is not simply about hearing what he has to say, it is about truly listening, understanding, and appreciating the depth of what is being shared. His imagination is where his essence resides, and to be invited into that space is a privilege. It is an opportunity to connect on a level that goes beyond the surface, to see the world through his eyes, and to support him as he brings his vision to life. Being trusted with someone's imagination is a responsibility. It requires care, respect, and a willingness to nurture the connection that allowed for such openness in the first place. It is an invitation to stand beside them as they navigate the path of creation, to provide encouragement when the way seems uncertain, and to celebrate the beauty of their dreams as they unfold. When someone shares their imagination, they are sharing a part of themselves that is deeply personal and profoundly important. It is an act of trust, a gesture of connection, and a sign of how much they value the bond they share with the person they are confiding in.